Hi there and welcome to Apple World. Okay, this could possibly be the most insane thing that we have heard out of the Diddy Adventure on the grounds that the roads are presently saying that Snoop Dogg surprisingly was purportedly in bed with Diddy and knew about the oddity off some time before the rest of the world made up for lost time. Young lady, say what now? Gracious, and you all know every one of those tapes that were recuperated by the federal authorities from Diddy's home. Well, the roads are presently saying that Snoop was supposed lie on the tape since he was a Diddy's freak-off. Young lady, this is going to be one of the nastiest stories to emerge from this Diddy adventure, so we should separate it. Snoop around truly assist Diddy with getting young ladies for the oddity off, so word in the city is that Snoop Dogg been serene obscure in the business since way. Thinking back to the 9SE insiders have even murmured that he could have been a piece of some dim plot to bring Tupac down. Panther right and Suge Knight. Snoop's old supervisor has joined up to spill every one of the insider facts, and they're coming for Snoop hard as indicated by Puma and Suji. The explanation Snoop has been additional close-lipped regarding the Diddy wreck is since he's supposedly working with the same higher-up. Essentially, they're saying Snoop around got as much on the line as Diddy, so he's keeping his mouth shut and adding more fuel to the fire. Suge, along with people like Writer T, is even implying that Snoop didn't simply have the foggiest idea about Diddy's supposed bad behaviors. He may be associated with some comparable obscure business himself, so I'm up in Snoop's man space in his home, and he's telling me about it. He said it was a characteristic calling, and he had ladies he expressed working for him from on each exit from the 10 Turnpike to the 101 on the grounds that he had barracudas who would go out and enroll new individuals and bring them into his circumstance for him. In any case, hang on in light of the fact that it's going to get significantly more chaotic. Fans are beginning to come to an obvious conclusion themselves, and something simply isn't included, like how Snoop around, who once had the FBI on his case, abruptly became Hollywood's brilliant kid. He's everywhere, from those arbitrary ads to a cooking show with Martha Stewart. In any event, conveying the Olympic light, so presently people are side-looking at him, asking how he went from public adversity to spotless. Handling every one of these hotshot bargains, the most recent hypothesis is that Snoop may very well be one of those industry guards making things happen and hobnobbing with Hollywood's world class to keep that money streaming, and we should not fail to remember his long-lasting companionship with Diddy, which Panther hauled into the spotlight, and I asked him what he thought, and he absolutely said that Snoop is steadfast, wow, and he's losing companions, and when you figure the plot couldn't get any spicier, Suge Knight himself has hopped in with much more show Sujis around here, spilling all the tea, saying that Snoop has far additional dearly held secrets than anybody understands now. Individuals are side-eye, and Snoop much harder, thinking about what different mysteries he's been stowing away over the years. Numerous companions of Tupac have stepped forward with claims that Snoop was profoundly desirous of him, and low-key disdained him for all the consideration he got. Napoleon, a previous individual from Tupac's bunch fugitives, as of late talked about this on the Craft of Exchange when gotten some information about Snoop's new remarks, asserting he never preferred Tupac's diss track, Hit 'Em Up. Napoleon was not having it. He directly upcalled. BC brought up that there's recording of Snoop rapping along to catch up with him once upon a time, so Snoop probably won't be as legit about his sentiments towards Tupac as he needs us to accept. You understand what I mean? I could not concur with the verses of Caught Up With Him. However, at the point when we was youthful around then, it was something that you realized that we was pushing and for Snoop to say he never enjoyed Hit 'Em Up, and he didn't, you know what I mean, he never communicated that you realize you got recordings of him in front of an audience with Pax rapping Hit 'Em Up, and he's rapping the verses right alongside him. You understand what I mean? So it's unusual at this point that everything are emerging, and he say, heck, could have done without Hit 'Em Up. You understand what I mean? If and everyone have their perspective regardless of whether he hit him up in those days. No issue he have his assessment, however. That wasn't the case. You understand what I mean? You understand what I mean? He was communicating his affection for Hit 'Em Up. He was in the studio bopping his head. He was on the stage when Pass was performing it, singing the verses with him. At the fact that you make Spot of Blue, it genuinely odd under. Stand what I mean? Like I said, as a matter of fact, think it's a great deal of, perhaps a portion of the things that he was unable to tell Pac eye to eye. He's ready to make it happen in these meetings, and if the tea wasn't, at that point, hot enough, low maybe a previous death row craftsman from the Gathering of Bew just added his feedback, packing up this multitude of cases about Snoop's claimed envy, as indicated by L&B. Snoop was most certainly feeling a method of some sort or another. About the Tupac madness, he said Snoop just couldn't deal with how Tupac totally dominated and got all the consideration from fans, the business. And indeed, even people inside their own team that reverenced Tupac was getting clearly hit a nerve with Snoop, and the jealousy was genuine. A few insiders currently trust this desire assumed a part in how Snoop acted towards Tupac when he was alive. P was gradually, you could say, taking over on the grounds that he the most sultry things smoking right. Currently Snoop is cool, yet he ain't got no new record to pay, got all new esh coming right. It's hitting all of you potential gain your head at this moment. So he the hardest thing smoking, so presently the pressure is getting minimal weighty between Snoop and Tupac and everyone on death floor since we as a whole need I was. So I was so insane I told Tupac and he inquired she to put our record out cuz we everyone thinking like ain't nothing going to come out. Now we see ain't nothing going to come out except if emerging. And that take is ready huge load of cash and readiness, and the just thing that has got all that in it. This moment is Tupac. So everything is zeroed in on Tupac, and everyone beginning to feel some sort of way he didn't do something, like everyone is like squabbling over their little, pitching their fit about whatever they distraught about, which every one of them still relate to everyone, need to emerge yet. Ain't no one got no information, know when they going to at any point emerge, and is they going to at any point emerge. So it's a ton of strain and just thing that without fail you pivot, they flood this all you hear is all I over. And it's a Tupac insanity. It's delightful because we had everything except we actually got the strain in the room because everyone needed to blow up. So you realize everyone prefers it. However, on the other hand, they aren't genuine talk, man. Do you think Snoop felt the kind of way about Tupac and the achievement he was having? Definitely. Obviously, man. You are the top man you assembled passing RI, and presently you got to fall in line. Come on, man. By what other means are you going to feel, period? It ain't similar to what you realize we were, because Snoop had collections prepared too. We were having to pay attention to gatherings and all that. All the time he resembled a man. This, what I got large canine, we as a whole in there, listening, it's bonehead, however. He don't have the foggiest idea while it's emerging, and afterward, Knight himself came through with considerably more show, asserting it wasn't simply Snoop who was envious of Tupac. As per him, everyone at death row had meet with Pat's rising star, Suge, said Dr. Drew, the canine pound, and essentially every other person at the mark felt a way about how Tupac of some sort or another had all the spotlight at the point. When CL got greater than everyone on death row, that is the point at which the desire kicked in. I suppose that is the point at which the mad as the poignment came up in light of the fact that it be a period where it actually is. I got, everyone know how I discuss Snoop. If Snoop was coming up, individuals would come around and say, Snoop, let me get in signature. Snoop, let me get an image. When everyone's eyes on me emerged, individuals came. Hello, Snoop, where's Tupac? Might you at any point inspire him to come over here and sign my signature or take a picture with me or Fang the K9P, and they resemble, how would you feel? Ah, that is the best thing on the planet. You get to stay nearby Tupac everything. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.